Right, members, we're going to reconvene this meeting. Chair Kahele.
Mahalo, Chair. Chair, I'd like to, and trustees, I'd like to make a motion to amend Vice Chair Wahe's proposed amendment and motion. And the motion would be to also incorporate an amendment to item number 2 of the proposed action, which would be to now read, execute and or procure all necessary agreements, instruments, applications, and other appropriate documents necessary for phase 2 due diligence to inform the proposed land transfer of Maunaʻala, Nuʻuanu, Oʻahu from the DLNR to OHA.
Okay, so Chair Kahele, just to clarify, we're taking both, right? The first part of Chair Wahe's motion as well as the amendment that you just made. Okay. Do I have a second? All right, motion made or amended by Chair Kahele, seconded by Chair Huro. Can I get any discussion? All right, seeing none, can I get a roll call?
Oh, yes, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Trustee Ahuna.
Can we explain the first motion and the second motion?
Yes, okay, so the motion is 2 parts here. So, well, I'm gonna defer to Chair Kahele, who amended the motion. If you could explain.
Sure. So, Vice Chair Wahe made a motion to amend number 1 of the proposed action. And that would be to further clarify that this is undertaking the second phase of due diligence for a proposed land transfer. Nothing has been made, no decisions have been made, nothing is definite. It just allows OHA and our staff to continue the phase 2 due diligence work for a proposed land transfer. The motion I made to amend the Vice Chair's motion was to add a second amendment in, which would just make the number item 2 of the proposed action consistent with Vice Chair Wahe's proposed language. Hope that makes sense, Trustee Ahuna.
Chair, you make a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Sorry, just to confirm, so I can erase this part that says motion and motion. That's all one now, right?
It's one motion, Michelle.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna delete that second part so that's clear. So it becomes all one motion.
Correct. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Chair, just to make
Chair, go
clear,
ahead.
so Vice Chair Wahe's motion, which is the first paragraph, is number 1, the new number 1 in the proposed action, and the second one is number 2 in the proposed action. All right, and then make it consistent to the whole document.
We cannot just add an and make it one? Oh, no, that's so sorry.
Mahalo, Chair, Trustee Ahuna, for your input. That would be unnecessary. Can we call for the vote?
Trustee Ahuna,
Honolulu,
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galataria,
Aye.
Chair Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Vice Chair Wahe,
Yes.
Chair Souza, Trustee Ahuna,
Honolulu.
mahalo. 8.
All right, motion passes. Mahalo, members. That was fun. And thank you, members of the audience, for your patience, as well as the trustees. And you know, so funny because the topic was basically, in so many words, due diligence, right? And so appreciate your patience as we do our due diligence and figuring out the verbiage as to what we need to propose. So, Trustee Akaka.
Mahalo. If I may, I wanted to ask if, in terms of what this due diligence looks like in the follow-up, if there will be a workshop of some kind where it's shared upon what is found and how we can best go forward and how that we can involve the input of our community.
You're absolutely correct, Trustee Akaka. And just to make note, administration, as we carry on and as we approve this phase, we will be having regular meetings with the trustees to update them, and that would be through the ILM committee. Trustee Akaka, to your point. Mahalo. Trustee Aquino.
Before we leave this topic, I just had a question regarding SB4, the legislative measure. It talks about transferring everything regarding the stewardship, quote, regarding the stewardship of Maunaʻala to OHA. Does that include the deed or property ownership?
Apuaʻa, would you like to respond to Trustee Aquino's question?
Yeah, and I don't have the bill in front of me, but I did talk to Senator Inouye about that. And there is language that says it transfers all current contracts, agreements, deeds. And so I asked her, when you say deed, do you mean title? And she said yes.
You know what, Stacy, sorry, Kalamai, that's actually not on this agenda. So that was actually part of the BAE meeting this morning. No disrespect, Trustee. We can have that conversation on another meeting that's agendized. Mahalo, thank you. All right. Next item under new business, C. Approval to undertake due diligence phase 2 activities for proposed land transfer of Kāneiʻolouma Heiau Complex, Kōloa, Kauaʻi to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Do you have anyone signed up to testify on this item?
Yes, we have 2 people signed up.
And also, just to make note, before we call on the testifiers, we did have this on the agenda on January 8th meeting as well. And so there will be no administrative presentation at this time. Mahalo. First testifier.
We have Jermaine Meyer.
Hello, Jermaine.
Aloha, Chair, trustees.
Hello.
My name is Jermaine Myers. I'm an OHA beneficiary for beneficiary advocacy and empowerment, and I'm also a Nanakuli Hawaiian Homestead lessee. This action item is different from the previous one in that it proposes to only take action in pursuing due diligence phase 2. I'm grateful that administration proposes to return to the trustees with its phase 2 findings in order for the trustees to discern and decide whether or not to authorize the proposed land transfer. The current formal agreement between HUI, a 501c3 nonprofit, and the County of Kauaʻi expires in 5 years on July 22nd, 2030. I'm familiar with the name of 2 members of HUI's Leadership Council, Keamoku Kapu and Kainamakua. Insofar as information provided in today's packet on due diligence phase 1, it was missing the following critical components for the proposed land transfer: financials, risk, benefits, 1, 5, 10-year capital projection, management, operation costs, funding, mechanisms, and limitations. Is it possible for the current landowner, County of Kauaʻi, or the current stewards of the property, HUI, to provide the financials for the past 10 years, including all past operational expenses, CIP expenditures, future projected CIP, etc.? Or can OHA obtain them through Kauaʻi Fiscal Department or other reports? Again, these financial components are very important in understanding the long-term financial consequences and commitments that will be inherited with this land transfer and its potential to diminish or destroy OHA's ability to fulfill all of its strategic goals in serving the Lahui statewide in health, education, housing, economic opportunities and loans, cultural event grants, etc., etc. Ke au kuapu, God bless all of you.
Mahalo, Jermaine. Next testifier, please.
Aloha, all you folks. On behalf of Kāneiʻolouma, I got so much things on my mind right now. We just put the property under the Department of Interior, recognize that as a historical property. We move in with the well, with Sherry Berta that I kind of nervous because I wasn't prepared. I wanted somebody to go before me. So anyway, I get on right now. So anyway, Kāneiʻolouma is a heiau that is very important. We went to Puʻokala to bring unification between Kauaʻi and the rest of Hawaii. We also setting up to start the restoration in about 2 weeks. So we're the only place that has this input. We're working with NAPRA. We put up, this is the only heiau that stood keys up throughout Hawaii. On the bottom of them, we have vaults to put bodies in there. So the KCC College, which is NAPRA, they want to intern 5 bodies, full bodies. We don't let the public know that there is a burial vaults under these keys. And the mayor of Kauaʻi wanted to transfer the property to OHA. It will make history in Hawaii because the state of Hawaii should not have that resource that is our traditional and customary rights. So by not having that resource under the state constitution that protects us, right now I stay talking bubbles, are not focused, that's why. So I don't know what else to say, is that we're prepared to make the move with this, and you folks should step forward. And then we have some keys that we want to get in Honolulu from Lake Collins. There's 40 of them to be placed in Kāneiʻolouma and Alakoko Fish Pond. I don't know if this is the proper time. It would be 30,000 for all of those keys and 10,000 to ship them to Kauaʻi. And well, anyway, I'm going to give my time to the guys, and then I'll come back, finish them off. Okay?
Mahalo, Rupert.
Okay.
Next testifier.
I don't think we have anybody else.
If there's no other testifiers, seeing none, can I get a motion to approve? Kalamai? Oh, enough. Sorry, brother. We're not finished with the. Okay. No. Who wants to go first? You go first. Okay, sure.
Sorry, Mr. Wonko's process.
No.
Anyways,
No
aloha
worries.
kako.
Aloha.
Mason Chalk from Kauaʻi.
Yeah, hey Mason.
It's good to see you all. And I'm here as a supporter and volunteer for Kāneiʻolouma. Most of you have visited. You know, this is a very unique village from the 1400s. It has everything from lokoʻia, Hawaii systems, has its own makahiki grounds, right? And Kāneiʻolouma has been, you know, stewarding this property for about 20 years now. It was first executive ordered from the state to the county in 2010. And, you know, we've, as an organization, have just kind of traveled through, involved and been with the partners necessary to advance the project. And we do think that this is an appropriate time for another transfer. And so we are looking forward to and been working with you folks and Stacy folks at this transfer. And I've been asked to help broker that. So I've been in discussions with the mayor's office, who is also in support of this transfer. And I think for us, there's a window for that. And you know, I think philosophically, we're more aligned with this organization, of course, and would like to see some of our initiatives move forward. And that's why we've asked Peleke, who's behind the programmatic aspects and the restoration of the next phases, to be here to explain any of those or answer any of those questions. So as we look at phase two, it's just my encouragement that we kind of get to those details of what that, you know, what that looks like. Because I think for Uncle Ruber folks, it's been a little bit unclear, but that's where we want to be to move it to the next level. And I'll relinquish my time, Mr. Chair, to Peleke. Mahalo.
Okay, aloha Peleke. How you, brother?
Well, Kako, Peleke Flores, my mea Kauaʻi, mahalo for your time. Pretty much just here to support to this due diligence process and just to seek more information and support from our community and support Uncle Rupert and the movement that's been happening for the past over 20 years. And yeah, and definitely for our community, looking forward to use that space as it was and try to restore it the best we can, from the fish pond to the taro patch to the Makaiki fields itself. But yeah, any other question? Mahalo.
Mahalo, brother. Uncle Rupert, you coming back?
Okay, now I focus. So anyway, moving on with this, we first started off in 1997. Nobody knew what was there, but the kapunas gave us headlights, what was there. So I learned about when water moves on rocks, it also moves underground. We planted every native tree that was in that area, and it all took. And then we found EVs in there. We got into a hassle with the county, got involved with shifting. Alan Downer said, take this in front of council because this is a very important thing. So we tried to put it in front of council. They were going to get elections and the two council chairs changed. So there's a lot of things that going on in there. They dumped all the hurricane debris in there, and it's still there. We wanted the county to get rid of that, but the county's attitude is they control the heiau. They do what they want in the heiau. And so it was a battle that we took forth, and we are right now taking the county on because they want to use the heiau as a detention basin because there's no river on that side of the island. So we're also working with the legal corps, but we're waiting for you folks to make the land transaction so we can continue what we're trying to do to preserve that place. And what I had Peleke and Kainamakua, I sent them away to get certified on building restoration of the holly and the walls. And there was a cave there. We buried the cave so nobody could go down and see the EVs that was inside the caves. So nobody really knows what's happened there because there was about 45 EVs in the cave, all lying down. So without exposing it to the public, we just took it upon ourselves and sealed the entry of the cave. And nobody knows where's the cave at. So it's very interesting on how you preserve our past Because without our past, we will never have a future. And without a future, we can never do what we do in the present. So that's how important Kāneiʻolouma is. So we went to Puʻokala, it was more important because it brought the unification of our people. By going there, we understood that the Piko is Lepo, because we don't have an identity on who we are. We are not Hawaiians. We are Kanakas. And the word Kanaka is the most powerful word if we understand through the state constitution on the traditional and customary rights. Everything in Hawaii falls in that category. So there's no problem. So what I say is that protecting the heiau is more important right now to bring faith in our children. So when they come there was a question one child asked me, Kapuna, how you measure the blood quantum for who we are as a people? You know that it really touched me because I had to answer that question from an internal part of what we are as a people. So I said, that's a way you steal things from us. A Kanaka does not have a blood quantum, but the recognition of your identity. So the child became very, very happy. And then they went to Maui to a hula halau gathering, and the kumu said, how many of you Hawaiian? Everybody put up their hand. So she looked down at the boy and told the boy, how come you're not putting up your hand? He said, because I'm not Hawaiian. He's Kanaka. So she had to apologize to the young man. So that's how important it is to have an identity. Okay?
Mahalo, Uncle Rupert. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Aloha.
Okay, I gotta catch the flight pretty soon. Go
Sure.
back home.
Safe travels to you, yeah?
Okay, aloha.
Okay. Anyone else like to testify? Online.
Yeah, I'm gonna move House of Ki.
Kikuana o.
Yeah.
Aloha. House of Kikuana o. If you can unmute your mic, mahalo.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Speaking on this item, so the beauty of my gift is speaking to the dead. And being such, I am gifted to connect ho'oku'i through mo'oku auhau. And so I share with you guys today, on Poipu Beach, there is a graveyard. It is called the Beko Cemetery. I am a direct descendant of the Konohiki of Kōloa through Eke Opunui, through his daughter Abigail Kahukina, also known as Apikaila, her son William Beko. I am of the Aka family, Keawe line of Kōloa, Kauaʻi. And so my same concern, as stated before, is to have input from the direct blood of the iwi and kupuna of Kōloa. And I feel blessed to be able to remind you of your kuleana if this is a ploy to advance any narratives, to use Kāneiʻolouma as a water basin for the development that is pending permits right now. That is Heva. I refuse to give my genealogy to state historic preservation. I am direct to Pa'ele, to Opunui, to Aka, to Keawe. That place is so sacred that if we decide, you decide to move forward and to put it in the hands of OHA, I don't understand why you cannot just facilitate the wishes of those who are going to be here to continue this work, which is the people of the Aina, people of the Moku, people of that Ahupuaʻa, versus the development. Because my understanding is there are biased parties who have vested interests in converting Kāneiʻolouma to a transfer out of the stewards of the hui from Kauaʻi County to the hui to OHA. And so just reminding everybody that there is a realm in which we cannot see that exists within Kāneiʻolouma. And so any desecration in that level, again, affects those who makes those decisions. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Anyone else online, Rochelle?
No, no other testifiers.
All right, at this time, I'm gonna turn the floor over to Kapu'ano Stacy Ferrero. Sorry. Oh, Trustee Auna. Kalamai, didn't see your hand, brother.
I can go in, I can go after Stacy if you want me to.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. If you're okay with that, Trustee.
Yeah, I go after. Okay.
Okay. Kapu'ano Stacy Ferrero.
Yeah, no, I have nothing to add at this point. Chair Kahele.
Trustee Auna, we'll take your comment or question.
Oh, okay, thank you, Chair. So I just, for me, I as the trustee of Kauaʻi and Nihau, I just want to say this. I want to thank our CEO Stacy Ferreira and our director of OAV Wellbeing, Kuike Ohelo. They did a good job with the due diligence. They understand the different parts and the moving parts, even with the detention basin that is going on. The only reason why I want to thank them is because I know my staff as well as myself has been in contact with Uncle Rupert and his hui, and today we saw the hui, his hui, and these people are very they're very known on Kauaʻi, and so we're talking to the right people. We're doing the right things. The due diligence has been great. They're actually happy with everything going on with what OHA has been doing thus far. So I just really wanted to thank our administrative staff for doing that due diligence. Today, they're here to inform us that they want OHA to actually transfer this land because they know how it works. They know that they're gonna be the next hui that is gonna. All we do is we're outside of the management of what they do, and today we saw Uncle Rupert has done a great job all this time, but the people, the legacy, the people taking over, Mason Chalk, Peleke Flores, Kaina Makua, Keaone Smith, these are names that have done a lot of work in our communities, and these are the type of work that they continue to do on a daily basis. They're not scattered all over trying to get involved in anything. They've been here the whole time. And I want to thank our OHA staff for actually doing this due diligence. And they've been there a lot and talking to Rupert and his hui. And I have to commend OHA on the work that they've done. So I just want to say thank you to Uncle Rupert, Mason, and Peleke for showing up today and talking, but I also want to thank our OHA staff and administrative team because they did a lot, and I want you guys to know that they really did, especially Sherry Broder. She's on this, and then I also want to thank my staff who's been meeting with Rupert too. So thank you guys, and I just want to thank everybody.
Mahalo, trustee.
Mahalo, Trustee Auna. Chair Kahele.
Just for clarification, Chair, are we going to be moving to adopt the recommendations in the proposed action at some point? We have an amendment to make. I didn't know if this is the right time to make it or not.
This is the right time, Chair
Okay,
Kahele.
great.
Mahalo for asking the question.
So for this action item, the recommended motion is to amend the number 3 of the proposed action. And that would be to remove item number 3 because that appropriation was already appropriated in Budget and Finance Committee's previously authorized. So it's duplicative. So It's not required, and that's gonna be the same motion for all three of the next agenda items, but this one, is that needs to be removed.
All right. Mahalo, Chair Kahele. Do I have a second? All right, motion made by Chair Kahele, seconded by Trustee Alapa. Can I get a roll call? Oh, any discussion? All right. Can we get the motion put up on the screen? Oh, it's right there. Yeah. So I'm gonna read the motion. Approval to undertake due diligence phase 2 activities for proposed land transfer of Kāneiʻolouma Heiau Complex, Kōloa, Kauaʻi, to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs.
The amendment was to remove.
Remove
item
the-
number 3.
Item number 3 of the proposed
Proposed
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this, increasing the budget, the land assets program, we already did this, this morning in Budget and Finance. So it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Chair, what does that mean? It's not necessary. I just wanted to get a clarification.
I believe we should state that in the motion, Chair Kahele, if we could,
Take that in
in the motion.
whole thing.
Yes.
Read the whole thing?
Well, state the removal of proposed action item number 3.
Okay, yeah.
If you could reflect that in the actual motion. Kauaʻi, Rochelle. Okay. She's gonna type it. Chair Kahele, if you would.
I believe you did. It's just a matter of it being reflected in the motion. So, yeah.
Okay, she's adding it.
And while she's doing that, Trustee Ahuna, to answer your question, the request in the proposed action for item number 3 was already accomplished this morning in the Budget and Finance Committee. So
Okay, thank you.
it's on,
Thank you. Great job. Thank you.
And Trustee Lindsay, thank you for your question. So we have it up there now. So we're all clear on that. We're removing proposed action item number 3 as part of the motion. Discussion, Trustee Akaka.
Mahalo. I also wanted to acknowledge Mahalo, Trustee Ahuna and his team and former members of his team for bringing us to having a couple of site visits at this heiau so that we have been familiarized with the area and the challenges thus far through the years. And so some of this is not new information. This is quite familiar information for us. So I want to thank everyone for their mana'o shared, and it's good to hear the mana'o of our ko'i ohana there, our community, knowing that this is something that they support.
Mahalo, Trustee Akaka. Members, if there are no other questions, Rochelle, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Ahuna,
All the way, yes.
Trustee Akaka, Trustee Akina, Trustee Alapa, Trustee Galataria.
Aye.
Chair Kahele,
aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Vice Chair Wahe'e,
Yes.
Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 9.
All right, motion passes. Mahalo, members. Anybody got to stand up and stretch? We good? Yeah, marathon over here. Right on. Okay, new business, D. Action item ILM 2504. Approval to undertake due diligence phase 2 activities for proposed land transfer of the Ahupuaʻa or Kahana. Members, if we could be respectful. Mahalo. I'm going to repeat myself. New business D, action item ILM 2504, approval to undertake due diligence phase 2 activities for proposed land transfer of the Ahupuaʻa or Kahana parcels, Kahana Oʻahu, to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Anyone signed up to testify?
Yes, we have 3 testifiers. First testifier is Jermaine Myers.
Aloha, Jermaine.
Aloha, Chair. For the record, my name is Jermaine Myers. Chair, I was really confused by this packet regarding this action item. Most of the information for diligence number 1 was concerning to me. So please note that when I with my testimony, it's including with that confusion. Okay. This action item is the same as the previous one in that it proposes to only take action on pursuing due diligence phase 2. I'm again grateful that administration proposes to return to the trustees with its phase 2 findings in order for the trustees to discern and decide whether or not to authorize the land transfer. I am sincerely concerned about the additional layers of liability that comes with this land transfer, the huge amount of acreage, people living in old homes, most especially how it may diminish or destroy OHA's current financial corpus in consideration of OHA's goals to develop its current land holdings in Kāneiʻolouma and Iwalei properties. In addition, today's packet speaks of tribal self-determination and how federally recognized tribes have the opportunity to boast its financial capacity by pursuing gaming revenues through the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. I appreciate OHA's sensitivity to multi-generational traumatic effects of the past. But what about future traumatic effects if OHA takes on addictive and corruptive solutions like gaming? Poverty, drug, and alcohol addictions have been exposed in documentaries and government reports on the members of gaming tribes. Also, the increase and use of prostitution, human trafficking, and street drug sales. The cost of living in Hawaii, our home, are significantly higher than other states with gaming tribes. The gap between wealth and poverty will increase with exposure to legal gaming temptations.
Jermaine, with all due respect, if we could stick to the agenda item.
I am. This is what was in the packet. Did you read it?
We were referring to gaming, right?
Yeah, because that's what it was referred in. And there it talks about gaming and the importance of it. So I'm trying to find out if the intent is to also, you want me to tell you the page? The intent is, because it doesn't title like this is the intent. It just tells us of the history and all these components and talks about gaming. And so let me just finish. The state cannot control fireworks. How will OHA control the negative effects of legal gambling by Hawaiian adults over the needs of their keiki and kupuna in Hawaiian households? Has OHA or the state solicited feedback from residents of Kāneiʻolouma and Kailua in terms of the impact of having legal tribal gaming in their community? Because it doesn't say that that's not what you want. It doesn't say, it goes into detail about it. Have OHA consulted with the neighborhood boards of Kāneiʻolouma, Kailua, Waimanalo, and Kahuku, the closest communities to Ahupuaʻa or Kahana? Oh.
Well,
thank you. It's on my computer. I mean, it's on my cell phone. You see it? Oh, okay. Okay.
Model Jermaine.
Thank
Carry
you.
on, please.
Can I finish? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So as with the past action items, the following critical components for the proposed Ahupuaʻa or Kahana land transfer are missing. Financials, risks, benefits, 1, 5, 10-year capital projection, management operation costs, funding mechanisms, limitations. Financials are so critical, especially when you want to know before you get in it, because if they start increasing, you know that this was just a trend versus they just increasing because you didn't know the past. Is it possible for the current landowner DLNR to provide the financials for the past 10 years, including all past operational expenses, CIP expenditures, future projected CIP, etc.? Or can OHA obtain them through the Department of Budget and Finance reports? These financials, as I stated before, components are very important in understanding the long-term financial consequences and commitments that will be inherited with this land transfer, and its potential to diminish or destroy OHA's ability to fulfill all of its strategic goals in serving the Lahui statewide in health, education, housing, economic opportunities, and loans, cultural event grants, etc., etc. Kia kuapu. God bless all of you.
Mahalo, Jermaine. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chair.
Next testifier, please.
We have Ululani.
Ululani. Oh, Auntie. Hello, Auntie.
Oh, my kako.
Oh,
You know, I was sitting back there and I could hardly hear some of the speakers that was going on, but hopefully I'll speak loud enough so you can hear me. I probably don't need the mic. Okay, so I just really appreciate Koiki and Stacy and some of the trustees that come out to reach out to our people of Kahana. So if the people here feel like they're not doing their due diligence, let me tell you, we've had 5 meetings already. Started off small and then 2 bigger community meetings. So it's not like our community is not aware of the transactions that are coming up on the, you know, being put on the table. I just got a note passed to me while I was sitting and waiting that, do you know that Governor Green, he wants to build 4,000 homes from Waihole to Kahana? Well, that's great because I'm not worried about it. They're on crayfish crawl, you know. We don't go any place. It's been like that for a long time. So anyway, I just wanted to say this. You know, I think it's about time that we look at another entity for us. And if it's got to be the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, then so be it. Because we have been under the Department of Land and Natural Resources. I mean, we go back like 1961 when they were talking about this. Then 1965, they come in and then we do a eminent domain, you know, like a takeover, you know, and we don't have nothing but fight to remain on the lands that we come from, you know, back and forth. And then it wasn't until our Hawaiian governor, John Wahe, took his seat that he finally signed the documents that would approve leases for us. That's a long haul all the way to the leases were signed in 1993. So we've been on this wait phase, you know, wait and see phase for a long time. So people in the valley, you know, we just expect to be on this, you know, kind of a dramatic move one way or another, real slow. So we don't just real get excited about everything when it's on the table, but we like to see some progress. So while we're talking about Kahana, let's just really acknowledge some of the state entities or the state areas that the state has come in and taken over. Kahana is not the only one where we become lessees under the state. Miloli'i is another where all my Kauaʻi family comes from. Miloli'i is another one. Maunaʻala is another one where my maternal family come from. And then Kahana. So while we're fighting for Kahana, I'm also fighting for Maunaʻala, you know, and then go over to Miloli'i. But these are just some of the areas and then other state areas that are on the table. But let me just say this. Kahana is no surprise to anybody. We've been in the news for so long, it is not funny. We started off with 31 lessees. We have 28 that are on the books. About 15 of those lessees all hala already. So now we're into successorships. I'm saying before the Office of Hawaiian Affairs gets involved, we need to let the land board clean up their act. Take care of the successorship, make it all pono first, so that the transfer, if there is one at all, is pono. Our people are waiting a long time to be acknowledged on the land. That hasn't happened. We signed our successorship when we signed the leases in 1993. That's not kind of acknowledged today. Today, if somebody holla, they gotta go take them to the court. They gotta have it probated. We don't want that kind of actions, okay? What was started on the beginning, they should follow it through. But I'll just leave it at that because I know I only got 5 minutes. So you know, any questions, I'm available. I'd be glad to work with the body. I might be different from anybody else that living in Kahana, but that's all right. I'm the oldest kupuna right now in Kahana since Auntie May moved back to Kahalu'u, you know, so not counting others that are not originally from Kahana. Okay, so I leave that with you. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Auntie. I want to call on our next testifier, Ben Schaefer. Hello, Ben.
Aloha mai kākoa. My name
Aloha.
is Ben Schaefer from Kahana. First of all, I want to haole makiki to all of you folks. So it's a great way to start up the new year, right? Land banking, getting lands that the Hawaiians deserve. 5,200 plus acres is a lot. That's an entire Ahupuaʻa that the state has been trying to keep all this time, but they're not able to afford it, right? And it's supposed to be a Hawaiian cultural living part. Most of the residents are not into it, and the ones who are, like us, we just struggle because we're the only ones that do it all the time, right? And so we want to thank OHA's group for coming out. They have been wonderful. I wasn't at a couple of the meetings because I was doing other things, but this has been something that back in '78 when they formed it, when they got it going. I think Clayton He was a chairman, one of the first ones, right? And we went to see him, and he laughed about it. And we talked to Holoku Drake when she was with Governor Wahi'i's office, and they had a hard time because there's all these issues that come up with Kahana, and so we never did go forward. But I'm glad that at this point in time, so many years later, that they're moving forward, not only on this one, but a whole bunch of other ones. This is a great time to do it, right? Great year to do it. And I wish you folks all the well. Mahalo.
Hey, mahalo, Ben. I believe we have one more testifier. House of Kekuanoa. If you're online, if you can unmute yourself, mahalo. Aloha. House of Kekuanoa. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, aloha.
Okay, making sure we can hear. So again, we're here again. History, Kahana, mai tutu wahine, direct to Kahana. Again, the gift of Mo'okuʻauhau to Ho'oku'i with our iwi kupuna and our kupuna of the other realms is little backstory. 1881 Hui of Kahana was formed as the Land Commission Award families of Kahana had worked together to protect the entirety of the interests of the valleys of Kahana. My tutu is 85. She grew up in Kahana. Our ohana is from Kahana. It's like the blessing of just being able to have this gift is to be able to speak from the space of our kupuna. I chose not to be here, but my kupuna compels me to speak for them. Kahana Valley belongs to the original awardees of the Land Commission Awards awarded and assigned by Kamehameha III Kauaʻi. Those families have heirs who are living today in which your constitutional and codified laws say HRS 172-11, those lands inure to the heirs of Kahana. Just as Auntie has stated, there's an issue that branches into other valleys of the same accord in which the state and the county work to conspire to remove the interests of the original families of these ahupua'as. And they did so by putting them and binding them to a lease that is near its end. Some of them are 2036, some of them is 2033. And a lot of these families were compelled under duress and coercion to put in permits with the land court application for their own aina in the conversion from entity to entity. What I don't understand in my testimony is asking you guys as a Kanaka Maoli, as an heir of many places, descendant direct, is that you as the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, you guys know that these lands are allodial. You know that. But yet we sit here with our hands out and we're asking the people, you're getting public testimony, which is really not a good turnout. If you ask me, there wasn't great publicity for you to get people to come here and speak their truth as to their pure interests. 1, 2, 3, 5 people, that's really not a representation that fairly represents the collective consciousness of a location. And so if you are the people who are trying to correct the wrongs of the past, then you do that by returning the land to the rightful owners. If you're gonna be the steward who now speaks for it and we're removing these leases that was created under duress for these people, return the land to the heirs. Take yourself out, return the land, and do your due diligence. That is the due diligence. That is the due diligence, that we honor what is pono and we stop playing this facade about money movement. There's millions of dollars to be made in this work. And you guys just sit here with your hands out saying, oh, we'll be the voice for them. We'll be the advocates for their AINA. Transfer the AINA to us, because yeah, there's a lot of federal funds when you say you Native Hawaiian, because Native Hawaiian is a codified term. So for those of us who are sitting in the audience, Office of Hawaiian Affairs sits here as the voice and the face of our people with objectives and goals to protect those interests. Kahana, Kāneiʻolouma, Maunaʻala are all lands that are allodial. Maunaʻala is sovereign. Nobody can speak for Maunaʻala. Kāneiʻolouma is a sacred place. Now we're going to just turn it over to OHA. Now we get Kahana, where people live. One is Evie, one is one Portal, one Heiau, and now you get people, living people who have trouble to have to deal with probate. Your job is to make our lives better. So you say, you speak for Native Hawaiians, but really you're protecting Hawaiians' interests. But are you protecting their interests when you sit here and say, oh, due diligence, let's just modify the motion without making a motion to modify the motion? And you sit here and you change up motions and you go, oh, it's just a due diligence, right? Due diligence of what? The right thing to do is to make sure the lands are going to the owners. Work with them. Who's the owners? The allodial title. If you need a person, go ask Billy Young in the archives, private archivist. You can ask him to find any true title, even your own mortgages. When are we going to stop playing this facade and help the people get back to their piko? Ho'i ka piko, do your job, guys. Do your job. As God is my witness, as yours is too. At the end of the day, when you're earning these God credits, so you say you are, I hope you're at the pearly gates, guys. Aloha.
Mahalo also ke kuanoa for your respectful testimony. Appreciate it. I think we have one more testifier.
Sure.
Char. Oh, Char. Aloha again, Char.
Aloha again. That was a good speech. Thank you. Also, Kikunoa. I am a lineal descendant of Kauaʻi, Nahiana. I am first cousin to Queen Emma, Queen Kalama, King Lunalilo, Kamehameha the Fourth and the Fifth, Victoria Kamamalu, Abner Paki as my grandfather. I sit here in front of you because as you make decisions without the lineal descendants, you are telling us that we're not having a voice with the crown. We're still here. We're still recognized. So earlier in my first testimony, I speak because many do not have voices anymore because we've been pushed out. We fought for our lands 3 generations now to have a place to call home. And why are we collecting all these lands? To get federal recognition? Are you protecting the native Kanaka Mo'oli or the Hawaiians? Because in Kauaʻi Keoli's decree, it says there will be people who are not of my blood. They will be called Hawaiians. There are people who are of my blood and they will be Kanaka Mo'oli. And in his decree, he states if a foreign flag flies above his lands, all allodium titles are null and void and returned back to him. I speak only because many people didn't know how to speak or what to say as we lose everything. I filed everything at the Bureau of Conveyance to show my connection as a lineal descendant. Queen Kalama is my first cousin through both her father and her mother in 4 different ways. That includes Lunalilo and Queen Emma, because they're all first cousins. I laid claim to the mausoleum to protect the tombstones, and I put it in a public notice of the Bureau of Conveyance.
So I'm praying that you guys take that into consideration, all the many people who have filed at the Borough Conveyance to file what they're connected to and their bloodlines. King Kahana is a grandfather. Through his son and daughter marrying, having a child, and marrying my grandfather, Kaikumoku, sibling of Charles Kānaina, George Naea, and Ike Po'oku. What many of us say is correct to try to protect what is ours by a lineal heritage through an allodial title. If you guys are on the state side and aren't protecting the Kanaka Mo'oli, do you guys carry a bond? An oath of allegiance to the state of Hawaii? Or is it to the kingdom of Hawaii, the Kāuaʻi Pai'aina? Where is your insurance? Is it on the state side or is it on our side? Are the decisions you make, are they for our people? Or are they to bustle more people out of their lands and take it away? You guys are proposing for Kahana to become an area for planting, but did you guys propose to put Kanaka Mo'oli in there to plant? We need the protections from our people. You guys are put into the place to be able to do that. And I'm praying that you make those decisions to help. When I looked at now I'm just going to put this out there. I read the proposal for the Kaka'ako, and the development was for international buyers. It said we have enough water.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop you.
Yes.
Kakako is not on the agenda,
It's
as
not,
I had to correct.
But I
trustee
want to
earlier.
say it should never be for international buyers. Everything you guys do should be for its people and the people that are from here. We should not have to fight for something that's already ours. We should not be ushered out of our homes. Quiet title deeds should never have happened to many of the families. Things that cannot be sold, transferred under allodium should be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Mahalo, sir. Any other testifiers? All right, seeing none, I'm gonna call on Chair Kahele.
Mahalo, Chair. For the proposed action, I'd like to offer a motion to amend the proposed action number 3. Same amendment we did the last time, that would be to remove item number 3 from the proposed action, because this was already taken up earlier today, the Budget and Finance Committee.
Mahalo, Chair Kahele. Do I have a second? All right, motion made by Chair Kahele, seconded by Trustee Alapa. Any discussion, trustees? All right, seeing none, can we call for the vote, please?
Trustee Ahuna left. He had to leave. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Rochelle, hold on. Just before we take the roll call vote, I just want to clarify one more time, just so the trustees understand what we're voting on. We're moving forward on the motion, and same as 2503, we're removing proposed action number 3 with the approval of the due diligence, right? That's stated in the motion. All right, Mahalo members. Rochelle, can we take the roll call vote?
Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Galataria.
Aye.
Chair Kahele. Trustee Lindsay. Vice Chair Wahe'e. Chair Souza.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Mahalo members. We're going to move on to new business E. Action item ILM 2505, approval to undertake the due diligence phase 2 activities for proposed land transfer of the Nation of Hawaii parcels, Maunaʻala, Hawaii, to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Anyone signed up to testify on this item?
Yes,
Um,
yes. Sorry, go ahead.
And just to make note, we also received 2 written testimony on this item that was distributed via email, one in support and one in opposition.
Yes, we have multiple testifiers. We're going to call Bumpy Kāneiʻolouma
Aloha Kapapi.
Aloha again. Onu Bumpy Kāneiʻolouma, Nation of Hawaii. You know, I did pass a 2-page testimony to you folks. And I was gonna read it, but I rather just talk story about that. You know, when I remember I was with how about now? Okay. So I remember when OHA was first created, really exciting time was 1978 at the Con, and everybody that came out of that was like really excited about. And that lifted up a lot of us, you know, at that time. And somehow along the way, you know, things wasn't working out the way it is, you know, now to me now. But I wanted to also remind you folks how much we supported the nation, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Through thick and thin, we stayed with them all the way. Even in far in the background like that, we would help the ways we could. Because I still believe that the office belonged to our people. You know, I mean, trustees said it that time, and, you know, they're saying it again. And so I fully support what's going on. See, when you're under the gun like us up at our land for 30 years, it's a different ball game. And so it's not just, oh, we this and we that anymore. It's about who's pushing for our people, who's pushing for a solution that we're all talking about today. And I see them coming together right now. You know, I think the difference is the trustees that is on the table today and the administration. Stacey and her group, the staff is unreal. You know, things that they're doing and knowing what they're facing too. You know, the odds against you guys because our community upset. And this is old wounds from before. Like me, I get plenty of that too. And so we got to change that no matter what, you know, all of us. Everybody that support, everybody that against. You know what, I support everything Hawaiians do. But if it's not right, I'm not going to support that. And I'm not saying that, you know, everything is right with the conditions we're under right now. But we have a chance now, I believe. And I'm going all in on this, you know, myself and all the people that I work with. I think it's about time that, you know, we start choosing the sides, you know, on how we go about working with each other. Should we keep damaging and castrating each other, or should we try to get together? Maybe OHA got to make some kind of ho'oponopono thing and see who come, you know, if they're sincere. I'm not sure, but I believe in what you guys doing, and I'm going to support that. Just know that, and not because we're dealing with you folks, because of our land. You know, I dealt with DLNR for so many years, and then we got switched over to DOA. And why not go to OHA now for us, right? Supposed to do that. OHA is supposed to help, not just us, but our people. And that's what I wanted to talk about, just more of that with you folks. And I hope you folks do the right things when the time comes. Because I think the community out there, they're crying for help, you know. You folks know that, they know that, you can hear them in their voices. And yeah, it's time for us to put together. So thank you and mahalo for what you folks doing. Stacey, good job.
Mahalo Kapapi. Aloha. Next testifier, please.
Jermaine Myers.
Aloha again, Jermaine.
Aloha again for the record. My name is Jermaine Myers. I'm a Nuʻuanu Hawaiian homestead lessee. This action item is the same as the previous one in that it proposes to only take action on pursuing due diligence phase 2, which I am grateful for. As stated in the packet details, capital and credit are crucial for community sustainability and growth. It's interesting to read about their Aloha coin cryptocurrency. I also recall Uncle Bumpy efforts to hold Bank of America accountable to the $150 million lending commitment it made more than 25 years ago to Native Hawaiians to build homes on Hawaiian homelands. Insofar as the information provided in today's packet, it was again missing the following critical component as the others, which is financials, all of that I had stated before. And so again, I ask, is it possible for current landowner DOG or land stewards Nation of Hawaii to provide the financials for the past 10 years, including all past operational expenses, CIP expenditures, and future projected CIP, etc.? Or can OHA obtain them through the governor's office? And then again, these financial components are very important in understanding the long-term financial consequences and commitments that will be inherited with this land transfer, as I had mentioned before. Ke akua pu. God bless all of you.
Hey, mahalo, Jermaine. The next testifier is Brandon Maka'avava. Hello, Brandon.
Aloha. You know, what my uncle said here was, you know, the truth from his heart. You know, we've had a different type of relationship with the state since we were, you know, initiated. Our village started off as a land occupation. And we were the only one of the only ones that ever got land back from the state, utilizing something called U.S. Public Law 103-150, the apology law. And now that we're sitting here talking about transferring out of the Department of Agriculture to Office of Hawaiian Affairs, I hear a lot of about this is just a lateral transfer. It's not. The Office of Hawaiian Affairs is the fourth branch of government. They're not just a regular agency, they're our agency. And we need to be together, you know. This nation, this government, whatever pathway we choose to move forward, we gotta be with each other, unite with each other, hold each other accountable at times, but that's not gonna happen if, you know, we separated by these different departments, these other people that get in our way. Department of Ag does not have a kuleana to our people. Office of Hawaiian Affairs does. We need to be with the Office of Hawaiian Affairs now because we're entering a part in our history that we have an actual chance to unite together and to work together. So if we're going to govern ourselves in the future, we need to learn about it right now. That's kind of the work we're doing right now on the lands of our nation. You know, for us to get our Aina back in the day, my uncle had to fight. Our kupuna down at the beach had to fight. Asserting sovereignty is not something that that is easy. Our ohanas had to suffer through a lot of the relationships that we had with the state. But on that beach, we educated them as to our rights as a people. And just by making that stand and being on this land still to this day, 30 years later, it's a powerful statement. It's also an example of what can happen when you give Hawaiians back their lands and you let them manage them, as we've always been for thousands of years. There's Ahupuaʻa restoration work being done there. There's economic sovereignty being done there. You know, people are bettering their lives. All of our aunties and uncles was homeless at one point in time. They're not anymore. They're all in homes. They send their kids to college. They're contributing members to society. This is what happens when we get back our Aina. And I just, you know, one other thing I'd like to mention. Communal land tenure should be a goal for a lot of our people. Today, we think about privatized lands. But how can Hawaiians afford $1 million house in today's day and age? We need examples of people living communally, like us, like Auntie Twinkle. These are solutions that I think OHA can learn from. These are solutions I think OHA can help support. And I'm just thankful for Stacy, for Kuike, for Parker, for all the people you guys got working for you guys, because this wasn't possible even 2 years ago. But because of your guys' staff and your guys' willingness to work with them and be at this table and be here with us, I'm hopeful for our future as a people. Thank you.
Hey, mahalo, Brandon. I think our next testifier is Keone DeFranco. Aloha, Keone.
Aloha kako. Mahalo to OHA, our trustees, Chairman Kahele, and our lahui for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Keone DeFranco. I'm a Kanako Iwi living in Maunaʻala. I serve as the head of innovation and entrepreneurship at the Purple Mai'a Foundation. We are a Native Hawaiian-led nonprofit at the intersection of Hawaiian culture, economic development, technology, and education. I also serve as the Minister of Interior for the nation of Hawaii, where I work on economic sovereignty plans to build and strengthen our lahui. My ohana name, Naholova'a, can also be found on a Land Commission Award right down the road from the Pu'uhonua. I mention this only to demonstrate genealogical ties to our aina and my commitment to ensuring continued safe stewardship of our wahi. Testifying today in full support of Action Item ILM 2505, the mission of OHA, building a strong and healthy lahui, strongly aligns with the leadership Uncle Bumpy Kanahele and the nation of Hawaii have demonstrated over the course of the last 30 years. Pu'uhonua Oʻaimanalo is a true place of refuge for our people to come, gather, and heal from the trauma our lahui has experienced over the past 132 years. The Pu'uhonua was established as a direct action in response to rising houselessness and social justice issues that Kanako Iwi continue to experience today. The nation of Hawaii is a model of Native Hawaiian self-determination and communities rising up to protect and shelter our most vulnerable. I'd like to share some insights into the community work we are doing at the nation of Hawaii as an invitation to OHA to join us on this journey as we serve our people. Today, our lahui is able to visit the Pu'uhonua to take part in monthly community work days as we restore our Ahupuaʻa system, ensuring our vai flows from Mauka to Makai, as we work to increase food security for Waimanalo. Nation of Hawaii has been hosting monthly free community food distributions, and we look forward to providing poi grown on our aina and processed at the Pu'uhonua to our community in the coming months. A monthly makeke was established to provide Kanako Iwi small businesses and entrepreneurs economic opportunity to build financial security and increase our local circular economic activities, ensuring that our revenues stay in Hawaii and in our community hands. In my capacity at Purple Mai'a, we have been able to partner with the nation of Hawaii on community programming to provide workforce development, training, and entrepreneurship, as well as support for small businesses. Our joint events have brought over 1,000 community members to the Pu'uhonua in the past 3 years, including hackathons to explore our technological innovation, increasing Oiwi access to our mo'okuauhau, the birth of an OPO-led podcast, and a partnership with a Purple Mai'a-led high school, Halawi Kili, in which our students are able to come up to the Pu'uhonua, take place in Ahupuaʻa restoration, and receive college credits from Wind River Community College, stepping outside of the classroom and onto aina. And this is our future vision. Nation of Hawaii is an important one-of-a-kind space where we can shift from theory to action and implement both theories on the ground of how to truly build self-sufficiency, self-determination, and self-governance on a site won through struggle, sacrifice, and commitment to the betterment of our Lahui, a living lab, an Ahupuaʻa campus rooted in innovation and culture. And I want to personally mahalo Uncle Bumpy for his mentorship, friendship, and guidance. He is the definition of aloha aina, upholding the kuleana asked of him by his community and the Kupuna Council to steer our people to safety, but he demonstrates his true patriotism and love of country. And I'm honored to play a small role in the mo'olelo of the nation of Hawaii, and would be honored to partner with OHA and this administration to develop a meaningful partnership to build a true model of Ahupuaʻa-based autonomous self-governance on communal lands that we hope will one day reach all the corners of our Pai'aina one day. Mahalo nui loa. Yola kako.
Mahalo Keone for your testimony. There are no other testifiers. I want to call on Chair Kahele.
Yeah, all Chair. I'd like to propose a motion for an amendment to the proposed action, and similar to the previous two, it would be to remove proposed action number 3.
All right. Mahalo Chair and mahalo for clarifying. Do I have a second? Motion made by Chair Kahele, seconded by Trustee Alapa. Can I get any discussion? Trustee Akaka.
Yeah, I wanted clarification regarding the time frame. I see here that the time frame states that the governor wanted to perhaps mention in the State of the State address scheduled yesterday, January 21st, of the transfer.
So I just want to clarify, is it okay, Chair?
Kapuana.
Mahalo. So we have a liaison to the governor's office, and his liaison had told us that it was highly probable that the governor was going to make an announcement regarding transfers. That did not happen, and we cannot hold the governor to that. However, I did have a conversation with both the governor and Brooke Wilson at the State of the State and opening day, and both assured us that we should continue doing the good work that we're doing, and they are still very much committed to this work.
I was also wondering if, in terms of financially, if the governor's office would provide funding for the due diligence, or what other further kokua they would provide.
So the departments have been told by their directors, both DOA and DLNR, that they are to be accessible and provide whatever information that is required for the due diligence. They have not been directed to provide funding. However, we did make clear with previous Chair Lindsay that any land transfers would not be put towards any settlement of past claim of future or past claims. And but short answer is no, they have not put resources, funding resources towards due diligence.
Is this something we would consider doing? The request to go hand in hand?
So the budget realignment that we did and you folks voted on this morning was to provide the resources for the due diligence.
But if there needs to be further due diligence and there's a cost factor to that.
I think once we go through the phase 2 and we determine what else needs to be done, I don't see why we couldn't ask. I think that's always something to pursue.
I would definitely agree, and Trustee Akaka, thanks for asking that question. As we move on, as we heard today, there is going to be phase 3 and phase 4 as well. So we're not done yet, but that is a conversation to be had. So Mala, for your question.
Yeah, and in terms of the time frame, when are we looking to have those different phases by?
As far as phase 2, Stacy, can we have one of the administrative
I'll have
staff?
Lori
Okay.
and Kuike come and answer the more
Okay.
detailed questions.
And they're gonna answer Trustee Akaka's question. This is Laurie Walker in Kuike. Her question was, what is the timeline for phase 2 due diligence? So Mahalo.
Like I mentioned, it's gonna involve a lot of community conversation, and so there's gonna be scheduling of that. It's also gonna require procurement of the third-party contractors to do these reports and surveys and assessments. So it's can take anywhere from 6 months to a year. It just depends. It also depends on what the governor's decision is and how we transfer or how we proceed with any type of conveyance. So it's sort of up in the air right now.
Trustee Alapa and I had a conversation with Chair Hurd from DOA specifically about her support of this transfer. And she's very much in support in trying to get this executed as quickly as possible. She understands the urgency for those that are living at the nation of Hawaii and understanding that we are in our due diligence process. So she is making herself and her staff available. So anything that we need to help expedite this, she's willing to do. Trustee, did you want to add anything?
So it was a great conversation as we were leaving the Capitol yesterday or the other day, and she definitely assured us, and so everything that Couple Hana is saying is true. They really want to help us and make everything nice and smooth transition should we decide to go forward in future with acquisition.
Lapa. Trustee Akaka, do you have another question?
Yes, for reference sake, could it be elaborated for us here as to how these lands were selected, given the vast profile, the vast folder of our various Native Hawaiian Crown and government lands of the Hawaiian Kingdom, how we came to look at these various
Mahalo for
lands to look at.
Yes. Mahalo for the question. So DOA, Nation of Hawaii was the one parcel that they put forth. DLNR had a much more extensive list. And, you know, in looking at what was presented to us, and OHA actually, we came forward with, parcels that we were interested in as well. But these are two communities and, both, we had Nation of Hawaii come and do testimony, and Nuʻuanu came and talked about the struggles. I mean, these are decades old, and they are communities that need permanence. DOA, their charge, as Brandon has talked about, is now that because of Act 90, it went from DLNR to DOA. DOA has a statutory mandate to do agriculture, right? They are enforcement, and they are also ag production. And so it is very imminent that if they stay with DOA, that they will be evicted, because that is the specific statutory mandate of DOA. So it is imperative that we become, we are the closest, if not the agency in direct alignment with supporting exactly what the nation of Hawaii is doing and how they are choosing to live and thrive. In the Kahana case, again, this is a community that has been asking for permanence, and to the point where they've had guns pulled on them to have them to be evicted. And this is a I'm sorry, Auntie.
Yo, your microphone, please.
Sorry, can you hear me? Was there a specific year
when that happened?
Yeah, that they'd be evicted.
Flood zone area, but Hawaiians live around, the ocean and whatnot. Just Department of Transportation fix our roads so we can get home.
Right. So, and Auntie has talked about their, DLNR not providing leases and their successors, and their kupuna, right? And so they're very, very concerned that they, heaven help, when they pass on, that their families will not have successorship So there's a crisis and there's an urgency with these particular communities. That's not to say that there aren't other Hawaiian communities that were on that list that also need our attention. They absolutely do, but we can't do everything. And so we had to prioritize, and these two communities were the ones that DOA and DLNR put to the top of their lists. And I would kākoʻo that the urgency is there for OHA as well.
It's somebody.
I just want
Trustee
to add on the Kahana area is in that the residences there need home improvements so badly, but they do not have leases that will entitle them to get loans so that they can do the repairs for their homes. So that's critical. Their homes could be leaking and they have to live under those conditions. And the state has not come forward and told them that they could have leases with deadlines that would be acceptable to loan companies.
Members, if there are no other questions, I want to clarify that the motion is, just so we understand, to approve the undertake due diligence phase 2, right? So that first part of the motion, while again, just like 2503 and 2504, we're going to remove proposed action number 3. So just so we're all clear.
Yeah.
Can we call for the vote?
Yeah.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galataria,
Aye.
Chair Kahele, Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Vice Chair Wahe,
Yes.
Chair Souza.
Aye.
You have 8.
Mahalo members, motion passes. Now we're going to move on to the last item on the agenda for today's ILM meeting, adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Motion made by Trustee Alapa, seconded by Trustee Akaka. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galataria,
Aye.
Chair Kahele, Trustee Lindsay, Vice Chair Wahe, Chair Souza.
Aye.
Pass.
Motion passes. This meeting is now adjourned. Mahalo.
Oh, yeah.